What's going on, everyone? Give everyone another minute or two to log in, then we'll get going. Give it a couple more seconds. We'll get going here at 1 past the hour. All right, we can get going. Appreciate everyone joining. Excited to talk a little bit more about bulk distribution, best practices, and some of the recent updates that we have made to the bulk distribution tool. So first, real quick, intros. My name's Joe. I'm on our partner development team. We also have Trevor Purvis, Senior Manager of Ticket Technology and Solutions from the Houston Astros here today. He's been using the bulk tool, so he's going to just share a little bit more about how they've been using it this baseball season. Before we do that, I wanted to do just a quick high level of the bulk tool. We've done a few webinars on this. I know I've talked with a bunch of individual teams, but also just high level on the tool. Throw it to Trevor to talk a specific use case. Then I'll share my screen and just give a quick rundown of how the tool works, and we can wrap up with some Q&A. So to start with, the bulk distribution tool, it's designed to help distribute paid in full tickets, whether that's a group, community relation tickets, corporate sponsor tickets, any type of larger blocks of tickets that you don't need to collect a payment on. Obviously, that's a little different than the core FEVO product where you're out there trying to sell tickets, collect payment from everyone. This one's designed to distribute in bulk. Why we developed this, the main reason being, we really hear from our partners how they're currently distributing tickets, either the dreaded printing the tickets and handing them out, which I know pretty much everyone is trying to avoid. So what we see most often is just, a group leader buys 200 tickets and they have to log in through account manager or through My Tickets to distribute those individual tickets, which is not the best user experience for them. So we developed this simplest form just to make it very easy to load a list of contacts, number of tickets, and press send. We auto assign the specific seats, and then we distribute them out. So I'll pause there. I want to throw it to Trevor to talk a little bit more about use case, and then I'll share just a little bit more on the tool as well.
Cool. Thanks, Joe. And hey, everyone. So we've been using the tool for a few years, going back, pre-COVID. You obviously use it for postseason with MLB. And so familiar with the tool, and something that we've always wanted is the ability to just take 100 emails, load it into a list, and send everyone 2 tickets. And so, that's been kind of like what we were wanting with the tool, the ideal, functionality of the tool. And so over the last 5 years, as you guys all know, we've been going digital with tickets and cutting off, big buckets or segments of groups of people to really, drive digital adoption and print less and less tickets. And so here we are, 2022, we're, taking out groups, we're, in the 80-90% digital range. Our season ticket holders have gone digital now. So, the last kind of frontier is the group sponsor kind of premium space. So the bulk tool is something that we wanted to focus on for this year, and working with Joe and the FEVO team to help develop it. And so, one specific use case is, once Joe let me know that the tool is available, unfortunately the tragedy in Uvalde, but we wanted to do a big kind of group night for the community. And we ended up comping about 3,000 tickets, busing in a bunch of people, and wanting to deliver, 3,000 people, tickets in the most efficient way. So we're having a meeting like Thursday before, I think it was on a Sunday, Thursday before, and we're talking about how many we're distributing and kind of going over the plan for the day. And I look at a couple people in the room, I'm like, how are we getting these tickets out? Like, I'm like, are we printing them? Like, we should have got them out by now for doing that. Like, I haven't kind of heard how it's going to work. So I talked with another guy after the meeting, and he's like, yeah, so we loaded 3,000 tickets in the foundation like accounts. And so there's like 5 or 6 full-time people. We loaded 500 tickets in each of their accounts, and the plan was for them to just send them out manually. And I was like, well, okay. So like, I know we have this tool. We haven't used it before, but, and we have all these tickets, and it's going to take literally hours to send out to people. So we got a list from the community of name, email address, and number of tickets. And so we spent kind of a few hours or that day kind of getting sign-offs, getting everything provisioned in TDC and getting it up and tested. Wanted to make sure the emails go out. But, a big key piece here was we didn't want these people to have to do anything to get the tickets. We wanted to just take their email address and just send them the ticket and have it appear in their ballpark app, and really wanted it to be as smooth as possible. We wanted this to be, a great day for the community. So, tested on Saturday morning, load the list of about 3,000 tickets. I think it was like 1,200 accounts, and every person got a different number of tickets. There was some on there that got 29, 16, 15, 432, random quantities. The list wasn't organized in any way, shape, or form. And as Joe will go through, it's really simple. You just need first name, last name, email address, and number of tickets. And I think you could put an organization or a company on there too. It's optional, but yeah, you basically just collect that information, load the list, and it literally will be as easy as he kind of walks through. And we load the list and make sure that the right amount of tickets are synced and everything's good. Send it out, and I think it took about 10 to 15 minutes for the process to actually run. And so in ProVenue, you'll see tickets come off of the delivery and start going into individual accounts. And so again, you'll see the full kind of product done. 15 minutes. We have a list of everyone where their section, row, and seat was. Did some quick spot checking of accounts and orders and groups of people, making sure everyone's together. And we'll probably go through this too, but there's some piggyback functionality and making sure that there's some logic built into the tool that you can't leave 3 or a single seat. And it really does the game of Tetris pretty well. Even tickets that were across different orders ended up into the same group of people. So literally everything worked out pretty smooth, and we got it done in 15 minutes. And I think literally the only customer service issues we ran into were people that gave the wrong email or put the wrong email on the sheet. But I don't think there was any errors in actually getting the tickets out or crossing where people are sitting. But no, I mean, all in all, it worked really effectively. We're going to send another group of 1,000 tickets out today. But yeah, it's something that once you plug it in, you can get it queued up and sent out pretty smooth.
Awesome. Thanks, Trevor. How were the Astros handling this before? Were you mostly letting the group leader go in and distribute, or would like your sales team or internal people kind of handle some of that?
It's a mix of all this stuff. As a lot of us probably on the call, there's no one easy answer here to digital ticketing. You kind of have to block and tackle across the board. But yeah, I mean, it was, group leaders would have, 500 tickets in their account because there's a limitation in my tickets, as far as how many can be loaded in there from a management perspective. And yeah, it's group leader going in and literally clicking 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, 4 box, 4 tickets, entering an email, and doing that for each group that you're trying to send out, or it's on the sales rep to kind of help send some of this stuff out. We have a kind of a part-time digital team that has taken lists of, tickets, kind of that same kind of type of a list, and just forwarded out manually in ProVenue to kind of help the rep or the group leader out. But I mean, aside from that, it was, there's not a lot of ability kind of to do things in bulk within our ticketing system specifically, but, specifically as it relates to bulk forwarding.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. So thank you, Trevor. To add a little bit more of just like the process, and I see some questions coming in that I can answer. Where we start initially is we take your seat detail list, essentially just information about your stadium, your arena, all the information like how many rows are in a section, which seat is an aisle, things like that, just so that we take that information and use it to make sure that we're not splitting people up, and that we just know the information, right? That for whatever reason in this row, seat number 3 is the aisle and seat 12 is the aisle, right? So we kind of know the information and make sure we're not splitting people up. Trevor mentioned the ability if, if someone needs 8 tickets, maybe they'd prefer to be 4 and 4 rather than 8 in a row, just because it's a little harder to talk to the 8th person if you're spread out that far. So we take that seat detail list, use it as our guide. And then Aaron, to answer your question, you don't need to collect the data or anything through FEVO initially. It can truly just be, let's say I'm a group sales rep and I sell a group 1,000 tickets. I collect the credit card. I buy those tickets in Artix or Pro Venue. Right now, this tool is just integrated and working for tickets.com and Ticketmaster, Pacquiao, and coming soon. Buy it on in the back end, and then all you have to do from there is essentially pull the tickets into the tool, and that's as easy as just using the account number, order number to pull in the inventory into the bulk distribution tool. From there, there's a couple options, right? As far as how you're sending these tickets out, you can give a group leader or a contact the ability to go in and do it themselves. And I think that kind of is equal to them just logging into account manager, right? It's a different account, but same concept. They're able to go in and manage the tickets. Or if it's a group like, Trevor mentioned the Uvalde one, right? The Astros are going to handle the distribution. You still pull the tickets into the bulk tool, and you're able to then go through and forward them out to everyone that needs them. So you don't need to collect anything initially through FEVO. You can just use the tool to send those tickets out. And I did want to, I showed that email list, but I did want to quickly just show the back end here to give you guys just an idea. Obviously happy to dive deeper on another individual call with this process, but essentially when you pull in the ticket, so in this case, I've pulled in a little over 1,300 tickets into this account, right? So these are bought on within Artix, section 320 row. You can drill down to the actual inventory. So I'm going to select all of these tickets. I'm then given the option to either assign, which is just going to move the tickets within this tool. It's not actually going to move anything within the ticketing platform, within Artix or Pro Venue. So the idea here is I don't actually know who these tickets need to go to. I'm going to assign them to a group leader or my main contact that's then going to go in and distribute them themselves. The other option is forward. So this one's actually going to move the ticket. So if I choose this option, I'm sending and forwarding along the tickets within Artix or Pro Venue. That concept works the same as the core FEVO product. We just take the email address. If they already have an account, we're moving the tickets there. If they don't, we'd set up a new account for them. But in this example, like I would just auto assign to multiple people. You download this template, which is truly just a blank Excel doc that has name, email, company, and number of tickets. So we need this info, the name and email. You don't need company, it's optional, and then number of tickets that they need. So that's all the information we need of who is actually going to receive these tickets. Once you fill that out, and I showed this example, just random data, right? Name, email. You can see a bunch of different number of tickets right here. We take that, upload the file. So in this case, I've selected 1,387 tickets. I'm trying to send out all but one of them, 1,386. It does, depending on the size of this, it might take a few minutes to load and actually send the tickets. Before you actually send, it's going to show you the stats on this bulk send, right? So, we're sometimes only as good at distributing the tickets as the inventory that's made available. If you're trying to send, let's use a small example. Let's just say, you have 3 people that need 2 tickets each, but the only inventory you have is like 2 blocks of 3. Well, we're not going to leave a single and we're not going to split someone up. So it would basically not allow that to happen. So for the majority of these, right, in this case, we were able to send all but 3 of these tickets. The testing that we've done so far and some of the group that Trevor sent out, it's usually around 98 to 99% of these tickets are able to be slotted and then sent out. So there might be a few at the end where the math just doesn't make sense that need to be handled, but for the most part, we're getting, 98, 99% of the way there. So I'm able to see the name, email, and then, in this case, this person needed 12 tickets. You can see the exact location of where everyone received their tickets. All that needs to be done here, click confirm and send, and that's when we're actually going through and forwarding these tickets out to the end user. They receive a confirmation email that is essentially pushing them into their account. So in Major League Baseball team, they'd be going through the Ballpark app. If you're Ticketmaster, say NBA team, you're just going in through account manager and accessing the ticket. So the person receiving the ticket forward, there's nothing else. They don't need to like accept it or approve it. It's just an email that says, hey, here are your tickets. Go ahead and log into your account to access them. Jacqueline, to your question, how do you prevent people in the same group from getting split up into different rows during the ticket distribution process? I answered that a little bit, but that's just through the seat detail list. So we're able to know information about the stadium, the arena, and basically just ensure we're not splitting people up, right? You'll never see a situation where someone gets seat 1 and 2 and seat 13 and 14 of a row behind. We also don't leave singles, and part of that's by design, just because you don't want to break people up. Obviously, if there's 1 listed as a ticket option, then and it's a block of 6 and someone needs 5 and another needs 1, we would fulfill that. But, we avoid leaving singles otherwise. So happy to answer other questions if they're available. If not, we can wrap up a little earlier. So Terry asked, if 2 families want to sit together, can we mark that off somehow when the distribution is getting done? Right now, in situations like that one, I think that's a feature we're looking into for the future, of being able to kind of identify, well, this person wants an aisle seat, or, these people want to sit next to each other. Can we make that happen? The best way currently to handle those is if you have like some VIPs that need the best seats, or you have 2 people that, want to sit together. It's pretty easy just to come in rather than select all these seats. I just know these 4 need to go to Trevor, and then he wants to sit next to Terry. They're going to get those 4 tickets, right? So you can kind of do a few of these one-offs before doing the majority in bulk. Any other questions? Awesome. I think to summarize everything, where we've had this, Trevor mentioned this tool has existed for a few years, mostly used by Major League Baseball at the league level for postseason and all-star. We rolled this out early 2022 for individual teams to use. The big update that we've made this summer is that auto arrange feature. Just the ability, prior to this, the process was basically saying, all right, I have 1,000 tickets. I want Trevor to have seats 1 and 2, enter his contact information. So you could still do it in bulk. It just needed a little bit of time to kind of slot everyone together. That's still an option, but I what we really heard, and I think most groups and larger blocks feel this way. If you have 1,000 tickets and 500 people need 2 tickets each, you probably don't really care that much about where people are sitting. You just want everyone to get 2 tickets from the block of 1,000. So that's where that auto arrange really comes in handy, of just being able to do that, right? Of like, if you want to filter out a few for VIPs or the best seats for someone, you can, but for the most part, it's easy to then go in and do that in bulk. What we've seen teams, how they handle this is, like I mentioned, you can put this in the hands of the group leader, or you can just say, hey, I'm going to send you this Excel doc, just fill it out, right? All we need is name and email, number of tickets that person needs. And then, you guys on the team can go in and just takes 2 seconds to import it and click send. But it might just make it a little easier process for those individuals, the group leaders that, maybe they don't want to log into an account, or they're just not as tech savvy. Like, pretty easy just to send this over to them and have them go through that process. Awesome. Well, if there's no other questions, we can wrap it up a little early, keep it short and sweet today. Really appreciate the time to check this out. It's live, like I mentioned, Ticketmastertickets.com, ready to go. So happy to set up another individual call, dive a little bit deeper here. Or if you're interested in getting going, just let us know and we can get you set up. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, guys. See ya.